Ladies and gentlemen, once again, snack time. That's amazing. You guys, you're playing tonight with Portugal the Man at McMiniman's Edgefield. That's outstanding. The Lords of Portland themselves with these guys, the Lords of Philadelphia. Hey, really quick, how did that relationship start with Portugal the Man? Because this is not your first time sharing the stage with those guys.
Yeah, so we did a really cool thing back in Philly at this venue called the Fillmore. We were doing a really cool radio block party for 104.5 out in Philly. And our management has a relationship with Portugal the Man. So they were like, hey, it'd be cool if these guys sat in. And we're like, man, when are they going to give us the songs? When are they going to give us the songs? So in the green room, 45 minutes before we played, which was after being there for, 12, 13 hours, they're like, here's 8 songs. Can you learn these all?
Wow.
And we did, because I guess we're pretty good at what we do.
I should say so.
So we learned all those songs the night of, and the vibes were great. And then we got a call to go on tour with them in February. So we did a month with them in February, traveling all the way from L.A., back to Philly and all around, and then we just did this whole tour that it's finishing today. So we're super grateful, and it's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah, I guess those guys have like one more day, I guess, and then that's it for their tour.
Yeah, this is the last one. And then we're going to be heading up to Seattle for one more gig by ourselves. We'll miss them very much, but we're glad to be here on the Pacific Northwest.
We're glad to have you guys. What's the dynamic like when you're out on stage with Portugal the Man and then it's back to you guys? Like what are some of the differences, would you say, as far as being on stage with those guys or another band in general and then just to you guys?
Sure. I wouldn't say that there's much of anything that's different. I mean, I feel like they're a family-oriented band, as are we.
Yeah.
And when you bring those two families together, it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Speaking of family-oriented, I understand you have a bunch of siblings, right? Are you the youngest of 7?
Wow.
I try to do my homework every now and again.
7, that's right.
Right?
I'm the youngest of 7.
So no hand-me-downs or anything like that, I guess, right?
Plenty. Which I don't mind. Listen.
Tell me about, growing up in your family. Was there a lot of sort of jazz and hip-hop and R&B kind of going on? Is that what influenced you?
Absolutely. My father's a musician. He's an African griot storyteller, so he retells a lot of African folk tales.
He's
part of different storytelling groups, and he also plays djembe drum, African drums.
Wow.
June, traditional,
So a lot of sort of world music kind of stuff going on. Yeah,
so
I like it.
I grew up going to a lot of drum circles in Philadelphia. It's very heavy community out there.
Yeah.
And one of my older brothers played sax. He had stopped once he got to college. He wanted to pursue other things, and then lend it down to me.
I went to college here in Portland and at Lewis and Clark College, and there were a lot of drum circles in the middle of the night on weekends, 3 a.m. and here's I'm like, oh man, like really again? But it was cool. It was like a community and people getting together. So that's excellent that sort of morphed into you doing what you're doing today. Sam, back to you on the sousaphone. This is the first time I've ever seen a sousaphone with some effect pedals. Tell me about your setup back here. What's going on?
So there's a couple other sousaphone players who are doing this that I've taken a little bit of assistance from, but I'm just kind of trying my best to replicate a bass guitar. Obviously, this instrument is a little unwieldy, but through all this little technology box up here, I think I'm getting pretty close. Because, we're trying to, as this band is, we have a lot of horns, but we're also trying to sort of change the narrative of what a band with just, with a lot of horns can do.
Okay.
That's why you see Eric playing guitar and Mike plays keyboards a lot of the time. So we're trying to just, we're a band with music that's just like any other music, just like Portugal the Man. We just have horns.
Absolutely. There you go. And you guys you have a new album in the works as well. That's when's that coming out here? Is that pretty soon?
So we this new EP is called This Is Dance Music. It'll be coming out in the next couple of months, but we've been releasing singles on Spotify for the past couple of months, and it's been received really well. And we actually do have copies of our first singles on vinyl if anyone's interested.
Nice.
Because the less boxes we have to fly home, the cheaper it is for us.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
And tell me about the recording of the EP. Was it like a setup kind of like this in the studio? Did you guys have multiple mics? Did you do multi-tracking, many takes? I mean, because I feel like this is the kind of band where you guys could all play together and it could just sound amazing straight through. But tell me about that process.
So our first record, we actually, back in 2022, we released. And that was a live record, very much like this. We entitled it Sounds from the Street because we started back during the pandemic in the streets with no electricity, and we basically made all of our songs together in the streets. This next one, we went for a more studio sound. We worked with the amazing Grammy award-winning producer Will Yip,
wow,
who's more famous for his work in like emo and punk. But we wanted to kind of like change sort of a little bit of our inspiration, what's going on. So yeah, it was all very much like we did scratch takes, and then everyone did their own part, and we did overdubs. It was really cool.
That's very cool. And you know, with regard to that coming out and everything that you guys have going on, you know, you were saying it started in Philadelphia a couple of years ago during the pandemic. You guys have actually hung out with some chefs in Philadelphia, done some events there. I mean, Eric Andre, the comedian, he called you guys all sex symbols, by the way, which I'm seeing that here on stage. There's a sex symbol kind of vibe going on. But Philadelphia, you know, there's an amazing food scene there. I mean, obviously it's known for the Philly cheesesteak. You guys are called SNACKTIME. Any of you into the food scene in Philadelphia, or you know, expert chefs? I'm seeing nodding heads here.
We all have a deep love and appreciation for food. The reason behind SNACKTIME was that I started an event back in January of 2020, which was in collaboration with a chef that was going to be weekly, featuring different musicians and different chefs that maybe got less recognition in the city. We did one of them, it was sold out, then COVID happened.
Right.
And then later on that year, when outdoor dining restrictions opened back up, the chef, Jen Zavala, hit us up to be like, hey, we need some music for while people wait in the line. So we didn't have any electricity, we didn't have any generators or anything, so called the dudes, and we didn't really stop after that.
That's the great thing about horns and saxophones and stuff like that. You don't necessarily need electricity for, you know, drums either. You can just go out and do your thing, which is excellent. That's excellent.
It's actually pretty funny. We used to play in a very deeply populated area of very wealthy people in Philadelphia's Rittenhouse Square. So Austin's snare drum is famous on that block.
Yeah.
It got a lot of police attention, and it was really cool. But no joke, that's kind of like one of the things that really helped us like really realize that people were behind us. Like,
yeah.
The cops started to shut us down, and we had like NPR affiliates. We had people writing op-eds about us. We had a meeting where a lawyer came and helped us pro bono, and essentially allowed us to be able to play in the streets without fear of the police shutting us down. So that was, we could not do it without Philadelphia, really. It's amazing.
Well, we will try not to let that happen today. I don't think the police are on their way, at least not as far as I know. But
now we can make as much noise as we want.
Yeah, see, there you go. That's
what people know us, so we're allowed to be loud now.
Absolutely. I mean, we're lucky to have. I mean, you guys have played festivals. You've played Red Rocks. I mean, this is so cool to have you guys here on stage. So once again, let's hear it for SNACKTIME, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'll let you at it.
Thank you all for being here.